Welcome back to the Jamaican Taste Buzz Kitchen. My name is Aisha, and today, guys, I'll be making a delicious dessert for you. I will be making my very own pineapple upside down cake. This cake has been one of my favorites since I was a kid. And now I get to show you how I put the flavor of love into this wonderful dish. So here are the ingredients for my pineapple upside down cake. I got some milk, I have some butter, I have some salt, I got 3 eggs, baking powder, some granulated sugar, some pineapple juice, 7 pineapple slices, some brown sugar, flour, almond essence, and some vanilla essence. And over here, guys, I have a 9-inch baking tin. So the first thing I'll be doing, guys, is melting my butter, my 1 stick of butter or 4 tablespoons of butter on the stove. Because what I'll be doing, guys, is putting my melted butter with my brown sugar at the bottom of the baking tin for my pineapple upside down cake. When my butter is melted, I'll then add the half cup of brown sugar to the butter. And at this point, guys, you can just turn the stove off, because this is going to be at the bottom of your baking tin. That's how you're going to get that nice glaze on top of the cake once it's done. The next thing you're gonna do, guys, is just pour that wonderful glaze at the bottom of the baking tin. The next thing you're gonna do, guys, is just put all of your pineapple slices around inside the tin. After this, guys, you're gonna just place maraschino cherries in the middle of the pineapples, just 1 each. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. You got that beautiful glaze setting. The next thing I'll be doing, guys, is getting another stick of room temperature butter, and then I'll be adding 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. And guys, one thing I like to do is I like to put my container in the freezer, especially in the summer, because the last thing I want my butter to do is to curdle. So this will help to keep my butter cool. I'm just gonna mix the butter and the sugar. This is gonna take a little while for me because I like when my butter and my sugar are fluffy. So I'm gonna mix this and we'll be right back. Guys, this is what my sugar and my butter looks like after 10 minutes. But I'm not satisfied yet. I'm gonna let it mix for a little longer until it's fluffy. Okay, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, I mixed my butter and my sugar in a total of 20 minutes. Look how creamy it is, guys. I told you I'm not gonna stop beating it until it's creamy. So I have 3 large eggs at room temperature that I will be whisking and adding gradually to my butter and my sugar mix. The reason why I want to add it gradually, guys, is so that, as I said, my mixture won't curdle and to add too much liquid to it at once. And to prevent adding too much liquid at once. So we're gonna add 1 egg first and then mix. And then once the first egg combines, you're gonna add the next one. So you're not gonna beat the eggs in. So you're not gonna mix the eggs in on high. You're gonna just mix it on low. You see what it looks like already, guys? Then you're gonna add the next egg. You're gonna then add the last egg. So that's 3 eggs, guys, to your butter and sugar mixture. And another thing, guys, you don't want to overbeat the eggs either. Because, you know, baking is a science. You gotta have the right temperature, and you gotta add the ingredients the right way, or it will come out not the way how you want it. Over here, guys, I will be adding my 1/4 teaspoon of salt to my 1½ cup of flour. Then I'll be adding 1½ teaspoon of baking powder. And then after that, I will be sifting the ingredients together, just to get the air pockets and any lumps out of the dry ingredients. Okay, guys, so now over here I have my wet ingredients. I have 1/2 cup of milk, 1/2 cup of pineapple juice, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a teaspoon of almond spice. So what I'll be doing, guys, I'll be adding the vanilla and the almond spice to my pineapple juice, just to incorporate everything evenly. That's my vanilla essence. Guys, I just love the smell of almond essence. Just like that. And then guys, what I'll be doing now, I'll be incorporating my dry and my wet ingredients to my butter, sugar, and egg mixture. So what I'll do guys, I'll alternate each of them. Like I'll put the dry ingredients first and a little of the wet ingredients and so on until I have incorporated everything evenly. Okay guys, so because the time is so hot, you gotta move really quickly or your butter will start to curdle. So with this part guys, you don't need the mixer. You just cut. There you go. And just take your time and add everything in. Just add a little more of the dry ingredients. And then by now you see that the mixture is getting a little firm. You add a little bit of the wet ingredients guys. So you're gonna add a little pineapple juice first. And then a little milk. Another note guys, the reason why I've used less milk than a cup of milk is because I find, everybody's different, that the milk can actually make your baking ingredients dry. This is gonna help when I'm cutting the dry ingredients in. It's also gonna help with getting rid of any air pockets that might affect the texture of your cake and will affect the cake rising. So as I said guys, I'm just alternating the pineapple juice, then the milk, then the dry ingredients guys. And by me cutting the pineapple juice in half, it won't be as sweet as you think it will. Be just right. So now that my ingredients have been mixed together, what I'll do now guys is pour this batter on top of the bottom layer that I had before. And guys, I always pour it from the middle so that it will spread itself evenly through the corners and that the syrup will always stay at the bottom. It's gonna be a lovely pineapple upside down cake from the Jamaican Taste Buds Kitchen. So now that I poured my batter in, I will put my cake in the oven. I'm gonna let it stay in the oven for the first 30 minutes and then I will take it out and show you what it looks like and then put it back in for another 15 minutes, so about 45 minutes guys. Another thing I like to do guys, when I put my cake in the oven, and I like to add a container of water on the bottom shelf, because what this does is that the water will keep your oven moist and also keep your cake moist, so that when your cake is finished you won't have a dry cake. So I put this in with the cake for the first 30 minutes, and then after that I'll show you what it looks like, guys. If you do this, it's guaranteed for you to get a very moist cake. Then we'll return. We'll set this for 30 minutes. Okay guys, so my cake was in the oven for 30 minutes. So that's what it looks like. See, it's still a little bit wet. So guys, what I'll do is so what I did, guys, was I took the container of water out, and then what I'll do is I'll put the cake back in the oven for another 15 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so my cake has been cooking for my cake has been baking for 45 minutes. So how you know your cake is ready, guys, is you see around the edges it moved from the side of the pan, and you can either take a knife or a toothpick or something sharp, stick and in the middle of the cake, and you see that it came up clean. So what I'll do, guys, I'll let my cake cool down, and then once it's cooled, I'll flip the cake over and show you what my pineapple upside down cake looks like. Okay guys, now that my cake has been cooled, I'm going to just flip over my cake. And look at that delicious cake, guys. That delicious pineapple upside down cake. That's how we do it in the Jamaican Taste Buds kitchen. And now that my cake is done, it's time for the taste test. Okay guys, so now I'll be cutting a slice of my cake just to show you what it looks like on the inside. I'm just so excited right now. You see that, guy, how nice and fluffy the cake looks on the inside? That's how you want your cake to be. Okay guys, I have a beautiful slice of pineapple upside down cake right here, guys. My favorite part is the glaze. That's my favorite part, because when I melted the butter and the sugar together, it just gave it this caramel taste. And now I got this beautiful cake in front of me, guys. It's time for the taste test. Guys, this recipe is so delicious. Guys, this cake is so delicious. I recommend that you try it. As my granny used to say, I saw food fit taste.